Let's go back to October 10th, 1959, Helsinki, Finland. A 19-year-old Lee Harvey Oswald steps off a plane, his eyes set on a dream of defecting to the Soviet Union. He's a former Marine, a kid from New Orleans with a chip on his shoulder and a fascination with communism. But this isn't just a story of a disillusioned young man. This is the beginning of a path that leads straight to Dallas, and the CIA was watching from the start. A declassified CIA memo gives us a glimpse into Oswald's movements. It takes 25 minutes to drive from Helsinki's airport to the downtown area. From there, it's a quick 5-minute taxi ride to the Soviet consulate. Oswald arrives on a Saturday, October 10th. The consulate likely closed at 1 p.m. that day, standard for 1959. Most people would have to wait until Monday to even start the visa process. Not Oswald. By October 14th, he has a Soviet visa in hand, a process that should take weeks, sometimes months, done in just a few days. By October 16th, he's on a train to Moscow, where he'll declare to Soviet officials that he'll never return to the United States. Let's break that down. A visa in days, not weeks. A consulate that's closed on Saturdays, yet somehow processes his request at lightning speed. This wasn't normal. This wasn't how defectors were treated. Not unless someone wanted them there. Was Oswald just lucky? Or did the KGB roll out the red carpet for him? Did they see something in this young American? Something they could use? The CIA knew about this trip. Lee H. Wigren, a counterintelligence officer in the Soviet Russia division, dug into Oswald's Helsinki visit in 1964 for the Warren Commission. They noted the speed of his visa approval, the ease of his travel. They knew it didn't add up, but they didn't act. They didn't flag Oswald as a risk, didn't track him closely when he returned to the U.S. in 1962. 4 years later, he's in Dallas, and JFK is dead. Think about that for a moment. The CIA had Oswald on their radar as early as 1959. They knew he'd defected, knew he'd been in contact with the Soviets, knew his visa came too fast. Yet they let him slip through their fingers. Why? Were they asleep at the wheel? Or was there something they didn't want to see? Was Oswald just a nobody in '59, or a name they should have watched? It's 1962, and Lee Harvey Oswald is back in the United States. But he's not alone. He's brought a wife, Marina Nikolaevna, a young Soviet woman he met in Minsk. Their marriage was quick, their exit from the USSR even quicker. Visas, approvals, paperwork, all cleared in record time. The Soviet Union wasn't known for letting people leave easily, especially not the wife of an American defector. Yet Marina's departure was smooth, almost effortless. Another red carpet, another question mark. Was this just love, or was there something more at play? Did the Soviets want Marina in the U.S. with Oswald? Were they part of a bigger plan? Now let's jump to 1963, months before the shots in Dallas. A man named Sergei Chornyakov starts talking, and what he says sends chills down the spine. He's a drifter, a man who's been to Vienna, London, Sofia, moving through the shadowy corners of Cold War Europe. In Vienna, he claims he heard whispers. Lee Harvey Oswald, the defector who went to Russia, is back in the U.S., and he's here to kill President Kennedy. In London, British officials interrogate him, asking what he knows about the U.S. Embassy in Vienna. By August 1963, he's in Sofia, Bulgaria, telling a U.S. vice consul the same story. Oswald is a threat, and Kennedy is the target. Fast forward to 1978. Chornyko is in Sacramento, California, writing desperate letters to anyone who'll listen. A declassified file captures his claims. He says the FBI, the Secret Service, even the police have been harassing him, using gas, drugs, chemicals, trying to brainwash him into committing political assassinations. He refused, he says, but the pressure never stopped. And then he drops another bombshell. He warned authorities that Martin Luther King Jr. would be killed by someone already in prison. MLK is assassinated in 1968, and his killer, James Earl Ray, fits the bill. A man with a criminal past, a prisoner who escaped before pulling the trigger. Coincidence or something more? Chornyko's story sounds unhinged. Gas attacks, brainwashing, conspiracies stretching from JFK to MLK. It's the kind of tale that makes you question the teller's sanity. But here's the thing. The FBI didn't dismiss him. They forwarded his file to their London office, to British officials, to anyone who might listen. They took him seriously enough to keep his words on record. So what if Chornyko wasn't crazy? What if he was a loose end, a man who saw too much, heard too much, and lived to tell about it? Who else knew Oswald's plans in 1963? And why did they stay silent when the clock was ticking down to Dallas?